Hi everyone, I'm Linda from Gumnut Lane Jewellery. Today I'm going to show you how to make this copper and pearl necklace from start to finish. This project is part of my beginner wire jewellery series, and so from now on I'm going to be focusing on creating real wearable pieces, not just doing practice techniques. You'll learn a few simple wire skills in this tutorial, and once you know them you'll be able to make endless pieces. And by the end of this tutorial, you'll have a finished necklace that you can actually wear, gift or sell. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with our chain part of this particular necklace. Now I've put it together, that's mostly to save time. This is my version of a Rollo chain. I will leave a link up here to a tutorial that I did making the Rollo chain, so I don't have to redo it here, but I'll just tell you that it's made with a 16 gauge half round dead soft copper wire. As I said, I'll leave the link for you up there to make this chain if that's what you'd like to do. It measures, as it is now, it is 46 centimeters, which is 18 inches. So that's the length of that. So that's made, so we'll put that aside for now and we'll move on to another component. We're going to make the ring part of the lariat, I guess is what you call it. Not the lariat, sorry, the clasp. Excuse me, sorry. So I've got some 16 gauge wire here. I'm just going to flush cut this. So flush cut again means using this side, that's the side that faces your wire. So give it a good flush cut like that. I'm going to just pull some off and grab my tool wherever I put that. I must have put that away and I didn't mean to. Where is it? I did put it away. Now you can decide how big you want this, and just remembering when you decide on the size that you have to make sure that your the bar side of your clasp is going to fit through the ring part, so just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to, no, I'm not going to make this too big. I think I'll use the first mandrel. I hope if I put them on properly. Okay, so just going to make basically a big jump ring. So just bring that around till it's crossing over there so that you get a nice finish when you cut your wire. So I'm going to flush cut that. So this time flush cutting it, cut back towards your work. You don't cut this way. You cut back towards your work so that your cut is flush. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to give this a hammer, so I'm going to get my block and hammer out. I'm not going to worry about closing it up yet. I'll get it hammered first and then I'll close it. So I'm just going to do this really lightly. I don't want it to look too what's the word I'm looking for, flat. I want to strengthen it and just give it a little, take some of the roundness off. So I'm just going to tap that lightly all the way around. You can hear how lightly that I'm tapping that. Okay, I'm just going to check it. So yeah, see how it's just got that little bit of flatness to it, but it's not overly hammered. So, well, I'm not going to say that it's, okay, I'm not going to say that word at all. Keep that one to myself. All right, so I'm just going to close this up now. So I've got 2 pair of pliers and I'm just walking them in and hearing, can you hear that click? That's what you're looking for. Then if they're not lining up perfectly on top, just give them a little bit of flatten like that. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. It's not 100%, but I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much now. I can do that later, getting that in more shape. She says as she keeps playing with it. All right, that's not too bad. Put that away. Okay, so we've got our ring made now. So now we need to make a the bar part. So what did I just do really? I'm going to use 16 gauge again. You could use 18 if you wanted to. Totally up to you. I don't know what it is. Every time I start talking, I start coughing. Okay, I'm going to flush cut that again. And I'm going to pull my wire up. I'm just wondering whether I'll make this out of 18. No, I'll do a 16. Okay. So I'm just going to decide now, but how do I explain this? I know, okay, you've got your bar, so you need your part to stick, this part here to stick over a certain distance on either side. So I'm just going to like guesstimate. I'm going to go to about here, because I can always cut more off the ends. I'm just going, this is just a really simple bar to go through it. Yeah, I'm just going to guesstimate about that much. And I'm going to just, on my round nose pliers, bring that around. Oh, sorry about my coffee. And I didn't get that very straight. I don't know why these things always happen on camera. It drives me insane. Okay. So you can see there, I'm just bringing that down to straighten that out. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to cut off roughly the same length. And that was a terrible guesstimation. Look how much longer that one is than the other one. These things happen, so, you know, don't get yourself all flustered about it. Just deal with it. Fix it. This is a terrible a loop I put in that. Anyway, it gives it a little bit more organic look. Excuse me. Okay, so now I'm going to just, something I don't do very often is measure, but with something like this you need to. Now I've got to see. Yeah, that should be good enough there. Enough there, yep. So this one is, what are you? It's about 1.5 centimetres from the start of the loop, so we'll come out 1.5 centimetres on this side here. Grab my cutters. Grab hold of that. And cut that little bit off. Okay, now I just want to straighten this up a little bit. Yeah, that's all right. Just can't believe that loop there. Anyway, it's for demonstration purposes only. Make your loop better than I made my loop. Do as I say, not as I do. Alright, I'm going to grab my block and hammer out again. And I'm just going to hammer the ends of this. Now you can hammer a bit heavier on this one, and we're also shaping it into a paddle. So to do that, you can see it's already starting to spread. So I'm hammering and I'm dragging like this as I go. So I'm hammering and dragging. If you want to paddle it out more to the sides, on this side, come back to this side. That side, come back to this side. Don't hammer on any one side consistently, because it'll grow out that way and it'll be lopsided. Okay, that's getting a nice shape to it. Okay, that should do. Then do the same thing on the other side. I'm just not happy with this shape. It's not going to miraculously change. I'd have to make another one to get it the way that I wanted it to look, and I'm not going to do that right now. I do have a better one here that I made earlier. I shall show you. There you go. It's nicer. That's a 18 gauge. One that we did, but you can see what it looks like when you do your loops properly. I should have stuck with the 18 gauge. So now with this one, you can, if you don't have a tumbler, give this a file on the ends to get it your sharpness off, and just to round it off nicely, finish it off nicely. Nice and smooth, you can feel it. This end's all rough. And just filing one in one direction. Don't be going back and forwards like this. Just file in one direction. Nice and smooth. Okay, so we've got our little bar and I don't know what are these called? These I've gone totally blank. Toggle clasp. Oh goodness, I couldn't think of it. So we've got our toggle and what's the name done, and that's going to sit in there perfectly. So we'll put those to one side. So next up we're going to okay, we'll do our little pearl drops so that you can get to see a wrapped loop. I've got all my other ones done here, so I've just left two to show you. So these are little teardrop shaped pearls here, and I've used a 22 gauge wire to go through mine. So whatever wire goes through the, through the bead itself, the pearl itself. And with I torched the end, so I got a nice bald end. But if you don't do torching or whatever, you can just use your regular, bought ones. So I'm coming in with my round nose pliers, sitting them right on top of my pearl. I'm going to bend that wire over. I'm going to come in and grab that right on the bend. Turn my wire over. Rotate my pliers. Bring this tail of the wire around underneath this part of my plier here, so it's sitting up nice and gentle, like firm against it. So you get a lovely round loop. Grabbing that with my flat nose pliers. Now this part, because it's quite a thin wire, you can wrap this with your fingers, and you can use your tools if you want to. I wrap down once. I do a double wrap on mine because I love the look of it. That's what a single wrap looks like. So if you want a single wrap, you would just cut that off there and then tuck your end down. But I love the look of a double wrap. So I'm going to grab my bent chain nose pliers. And if I can grab hold of this wire. And then I'm going to wrap back up now. Now you can do this messy or you can do it neat. I'm doing mine reasonably neat because this is not such a an organic looking necklace. In my opinion, it's more traditional looking necklace. So I've just brought that back up to the top, and I'm going to cut that wire off, the little excess bit. And where's my end there? Give that a little tap down. Yeah, so we'll do that once again. On top of the pearl or bead, whatever you're using. Then the wire over, grabbing it on the bend, bringing that wire back around, rotating your pliers, bringing this one up so it sits snug underneath this bottom part of your plier here. Grabbing that with the flat nose pliers, starting the wrap with your fingers if you want. Bringing it down to the top of the bead. On the top of the bead, grabbing with your pliers and twist back up again, or wrap back up again. Okay, we can cut that off. And tap it down. Okay, so that's a wire wrap loop all done, or a doubled wire wrap loop, that one is. Put those aside. Two more things to make for this. Okay, I'm going to use this part of my file here as a mandrel, and I'm going to grab some, I'll use 20 gauge for this. You can use 18 if you want to, totally up to you. It just depends on what look you're going for. This is a more delicate looking necklace, so that's why I'm using the 20 gauge. I just flush cut. Using this type of mandrel, it's just because you can't get it over this part and you can't get them back over this part here, so we need to compensate for that. So I'm just going to start wrapping this, if I can grab hold of it under this camera. And we're making oval shaped jump rings. So however many you need, I'm going to do about 9 or 10 here. Actually, I've pre-made some ones. I'll just do a couple to show you how to do it. Okay, make sure it stay up on the flatter part. You don't want to come down onto this part here. I've come down a little bit too far. So that'll do. Okay. Cut that off. And so you're never going to get that down over this part, and you're never going to get it down over that part here. So you need to come in, and you're going to cut, flush cut in the middle of your wire there. Then flush cut the other side. Just let it hang. And trying to keep your cuts in the middle. So sometimes you might have to cut a little bit more wire off the part that you just cut. I cut that one there by accident when I was cutting the last one, but it doesn't matter, I fixed it. So coming in and flushing, cutting that one. And then the last one. There we go. Now to get these off, just grab a plier. You might need two, just depends how thick your wire is. 20 gauge, I should be able to do this with one plier. So I'm just going to move that over to the edge until it pops off. that. There. Put my file away. And then all you need to do is grab hold of them and bring them back together. So just wiggle it in until they meet. That's a terrible one, isn't it? So just line them all up. Okay, then these need to be hammered, so I'm just going to use my rubber hammer on these. I'm just going to give them a few bangs. There we go. That's all you need to do to get those to be nice and why is the word stable coming to my mind? Work hardened is what I want to say. So I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. Okay, so I've got all the other bits here already done. Just deciding whether I'll use this one in this necklace or yeah, I might. Okay, so I've got all my pearls all done here. Okay, and I've got my jump rings that I had pre-done. Okay, and I've got some little jump rings here. Now I showed you how to make jump rings was either last week or the week before. I will leave a link up the top for that if you haven't seen how to make jump rings before. I've just made some little ones here using 20 gauge wire on my what mandrel did I use on these? I think it was on this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one. Use that one there. Okay, so let's put this together. I'm making up how to put this together. I mean, I had a picture in my head of this, but I'm just figuring it out how to put it together as we're doing it. I'm going to hook. I'm just trying to think how to do this. Let me open one of these. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm going to hook one of those on there. I'm trying to get a good close on that. And it won't work for me because I'm on camera, of course. Okay, that's a terrible jump ring, that one, that oval jump ring. That's a terrible shape. I'm taking that one off. I do not like that one at all. You can go away. Alright, let's try this one. It's a bit better. You're not going to see these oval jump rings, hopefully not anyway, too much in this necklace, so I'm not particularly worried about it. this one up. And then hook this one onto this one. So we'll see how they hang. Oh yes, they hang nice. Alright, I'll do one more and then I'll go off camera and do the other ones, and we'll come back and put it together, because I think you can see what I'm doing here, and just to save time and upload time for me for YouTube, I will do them off camera. So just hooking those on and then hooking that onto the yes, see, they're hanging beautifully. I love that. All right, so I'll hang all of these and then I'll come back and we'll move on to the next. Okay, back with you. So I've got all those attached. Now, of course, you could make this fuller if you wanted by adding, you know, 2 beads to each one of these. It's totally up to you. It's, you know, just a design choice. This is what I've chosen to do. So that's our little tassel part for the front. We've got one more thing to do, so I'm going to grab my piece of cardboard here. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to grab some 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to flush cut again. And I'm going to cut off, I'm just going to guesstimate an amount here, because I'm going to add some beads and also doing wrap loop at the top. I'll give that a quick measure and we'll see how it turns out. So what I've got there, say roughly 13 centimeters, which is just a little bit over 5 inches. Okay, so I want to straighten the wire. So this is a tip on straightening wire. I have shown this before in a couple of other videos, but it wasn't about straightening wire, so I don't know which particular video it's in. So just grab something heavy like a reel of wire. You want to make sure that you've roughly got, you know, you've straightened it with your fingers, got as many of the bigger bumps out as you possibly can. Lay it down. You don't have to do it on a cardboard, you can do it on a bench top. Yeah, so just, I'm using the cardboard just so I don't have to move everything out of the way. Start in the middle, and you're just going to press down on this and roll it, move it backwards and forwards to roll the wire to get it nice and straight. So I'm just going to go from here up to one end, come back down, start in the middle, and go up the other end. And you just do that as many times as you need to get it nice and straight. As you can see, that's a perfectly straight piece of wire now. So that's just another little tip for you. Put that away. Okay, so I'm going to start with a wrap loop at the top, and I'm only going to do I think I'll just do a single wrap loop on this one, so you don't need too much wire. So I've left, where's my tape measure? What's that? Roughly 3 centimeters, which is 1 and a bit inches. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my loop how we did before, bring it back over. Getting a nice shape on the loop. Grabbing your flat nose pliers. And I'm going to use another pair as well. And I'm just going to bring that around to do a single wrap loop like that. Straighten it up if you need to, because it wasn't perfectly straight. And then I'm just going to cut that tail end off. Flatten it down. That gives you the pretty much the strength of a triple wrap loop, but without the look. I'm not really big into all those wrap loops on everything. I just yeah, over the years I've just gotten over it. I don't like it. You can do triple wrap, whatever you want to do. I'm just showing you how I want to put this together. Okay, so I've got some little pearl beads here and some little 2mm copper beads. You could use seed beads if you wanted to, any other like little 2mm gemstones, whatever you want. I'm using copper because I'm going to oxidize this, and even though I've pre-wrapped these and they haven't been oxidized, I'm just going to get a very fine paintbrush and I'm just going to carefully paint this so I don't get it onto the pearls in the oxidization, and then wipe it, you know, remove what I don't want on there. That's a harder way to do it. What I could have done was pre-oxidized the head pins before I wrapped, but I'm being lazy and I just wanted to get this tutorial done because it's getting late in the week and I want to get it uploaded and get it out there. Other than that, you could just leave it to oxidize naturally on its own. I'm just going to close that jump ring up there that I can see sticking out. But I also too will take all of these pearls off and I will put everything through the tumbler except for the pearls. So I'll do everything through the tumbler so that I get a nice finish on that. Okay, so let's get going. I'm talking. Let's put a pearl on first. And these pearls, I can't think of the name of these. They're drilled through the center anyway, center drill pearls. Put on a little copper bead, 2mm copper bead. Now you just have to test your wire on your pearls and see what gauge will fit through them. Also with your, if you're using these little 2mm copper beads, make sure that it fits through. 20 gauge is good for this. One of those. I'm doing this with the copper beads in the middle because I just want a bit of distance between the pearls. I didn't want them right on top of each other because that's not good for pearls to start with, plus it looks better when they've got a bit of distance between them. Oop, put two on there. Now you can make this obviously as long as you want, put as many on as you want to do. I just thought this amount was good. Oh, I did it again. Got to pay attention. Oh gosh, it's warming up here. What are we up to? We're up to 29 degrees already and it's only 11:45, so it's just going to get hotter. Okay, I think that's about the length I want there. Yeah, I could have got a little bit shorter actually. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do that many. Okay, so now I'm going to do another wrap loop. I have to make sure I bring it down close enough just to accommodate one wrap. So I'm just got my pliers in there and I'm just rocking my pliers forward a little bit. Check the shape of that. It looks good. And then I'm going to finish with the one wrap. There we go. And finish that off. So just remember, you don't always have to use 2 or 3 wraps. You can just use the one. You'll still get the strength. And it's still a nice finish. Just going to pull that back a little bit. And that looks pretty good to me. All right, now all we have left to do, I think, is the assembly. So I'm going to bring in my chain. Decide what side you want to put your clasp on. Because I'm right-handed, I would put mine on my right hand. It would just make it easier for me to do up. So I'm just going to open this now. You could open this one if you wanted to. It doesn't matter which one you open. You don't have to open it very far. Okay, I'm still deciding, do I want to put the pearls on the same side here, or do I want them on that side? Yeah, I'll put them on that side. Okay, so you can't open these loops, so you need to open a loop, open your jump ring to fit that on. And if you're enjoying this tutorial, please don't forget to give me a like. And if you're not subscribed and you'd like to see more from me, I have a ton of videos already in my playlists. Yeah, hit the subscribe button and make sure you ring the bell so you know when I've put another tutorial out. Let me think about this here. Okay. All right, I'm going to add my little, just deciding if I want to use this one or not. Do I want to use you, or do I want to use my other one? I think I'll use this one. I'll put that one aside. Okay, I'm just going to open this up slightly. Just enough to fit that loop through. And then close it back up. Okay, just test to make sure that that works. Yeah, it works pretty good, I think. I was just wondering whether I might need to add another jump ring. Maybe I might need to. That should be all right. Okay, so all that's left to do is add our dangle, and our necklace is finished. So you can see how easy it is to you know, put something together like this. You don't have to use pearls. I've used pearls in this, obviously, you can see that, but you could use gemstones, you could use crystals, you know, like your Chinese crystals, whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat you use to make your necklace. I'm just showing you a design and a few techniques to get you started. Okay, let's see how this sits now. Move that out of the way. There we go. So it's like a faux lariat, because it doesn't come, you know, pull all the way through. This is not attached to. If this was attached, this was attached to that, and you thread it through, then it would be a full lariat. So this is like a faux lariat. Still gives you the same look, but it won't. A lot of lariat necklaces will adjust while you're wearing them, so they'll pull up and you have to keep readjusting them all the time. Where this one will sit like that, it won't change. And if you layered this with another type of chain, you know, with, say if you're doing pearls, with some pearls through it, get that layered look, because this is quite a short one. It's only 18 inches to here, and then this is just your drop. So it's yeah, you could add, as I said, you could add more pearls in here if you wanted to make this look fuller. I only had this amount of these shaped pearls left. That's why I just went with that one, that amount. But yeah, that's our tutorial for this week. I hope you learnt something from it. If you did, please let me know in the comments if I've shown you something that you didn't know, and that, you know, you're learning something from me if you're a beginner. I didn't want to do just a you know, like you just show you how to do a wrap loop, just show you how to do straighten your wire, that type of thing. I wanted to put a piece together so you could actually make something with what I've shown you. So yeah, that's our piece for this week. So as I said, if you liked it, please give me a like down the bottom, leave me a comment, share the video if you care to do that, share it with your friends, share it with, you know, in your socials, whatever. I have a Facebook group. I'll leave a link down the bottom to my Facebook group if you'd like to join that. It's a private Facebook group where you can show your work, you can get help and advice there as well. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Just yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will catch you all next week. Take care, and go out there and make something beautiful, and make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. All right, bye guys.